Build your own Illuminati, and they can be from any fictional universe. Who is the leader of your team? Who is the brains behind the operation? Who is the mentor to keep you in check? Who is your magic/supernatural expert? Who is your cosmic level hero to help keep this a secret? Last up, who is your expert combatant and stealth expert on the team?
A while back I did a fun little challenge where you have to make your own team of an Illuminati. For mine I chose Kisuke Urahara from Bleach, Optimus Prime from Transformers, Trunks from Dragon Ball, Castiel from Supernatural, Itachi from Naruto, and All Might from My Hero Academia. But then I had a thought. The biggest challenge we've seen the MCU Illuminati face was the Scarlet Witch. Now, how would things go if it had been my Illuminati instead? Now, the Scarlet Witch is very powerful. We've seen her brawl with Thanos, and even more scary than that, in this film she shows reality warping powers where she can just insta-kill people on the spot. It's very terrifying, but I think my guys might have the skills to take her down. One of the big differences between my version and the MCU's version is strategy and pride. Being that my guys are from different universes, they know there's a lot of stuff out there they can't understand, and they haven't won every fight they've come across yet, so they won't be as prideful as the MCU guys. So instead of it just being a 4-on-1, they might decide to bring everyone to the fight and make it a 6v1, in which case Scarlet Witch doesn't really stand a chance to win. But for fairness sake, we'll go over multiple situations, one with all 6 members and one with just 4 members, and see how they all turn out. I guess before we get too terribly far, we should probably explain who's taking the place of who on the team. So we have All Might in the place of Captain Marvel, we have Trunks in the place of Black Bolt, Castiel for Mordo, Kisuke for Mr. Fantastic, Optimus Prime for Professor X, and Itachi for Captain Carter. Now shall we go over who they shall be facing, the terrifying Scarlet Witch. Now, fortunately in this battle they're not facing her head on. She is controlling an alternate universe of herself, so she doesn't have quite the same powers. But as far as we can tell, she should still have the powers she had up until this movie, and then some that we see. This includes telekinetic strength that can rival and even overpower Thanos, who he himself can fight and take down people who can deal country levels of damage. She has her standard telekinetic abilities where she can project nightmares into people's minds that we see in her debut back in Avengers 2. And of course our newest and scariest ability, reality warping, able to change the very fabric of our universe and destroy those who stand before her. We saw this take down both Mr. Fantastic and Black Bolt. However, I believe she has at max 2 shots of this, as those were the only 2 she could get out against the most powerful being and the one closest to her. After this, Captain Marvel and Captain Carter had no problem tangling out with her until she came out on top. This is pertinent because even Captain Carter, at wall level, was able to deal with her as long as she kept her feet. Once she got pushed back, she was able to easily take her out in one shot. Now I don't think I have enough time to go through every individual member of my team and spell out all of their stats, but I'll look at them as they apply. For now, let's start going over the win-cons for each group. We'll start with the limited version, only 4 members, with Castiel and Optimus Prime in other parts of the building. The first win con is simple enough to explain. It's just Dragon Ball scaling. With Trunks on the team, his level of power far exceeds anyone by far. Without having to go Super Saiyan, he could easily blitz and one-shot Scarlet Witch. But she might be able to reality warp him. This isn't even for sure given we don't know how her power works and if she would have enough time to do it. But that's a really boring answer, so we're going to move on and say she does manage to get a reality warp off. and once again goes for the strongest member to ensure she doesn't get one shot. After this, we move into Kisuke Urahara and his many win conditions. As far as stats like power and speed, I think he's the closest individual to her. I don't know for sure if he is stronger or she is, but it should be pretty close with his Shikai. But his first and biggest advantage is we don't know if Scarlet Witch can see souls exactly. If she can't, then she won't even know he's there and he can just walk up on her and take her down. However, given later in the movie, she literally fights a horde of spirits controlled by zombie Doctor Strange. Very weird movie. We can assume to some extent that she is able to perceive him. This doesn't change a lot though, since he has the ability and tools to leave clones of himself. A decoy similar to almost a shadow clone jutsu. He could leave one and hide away, and then when the opportunity presents itself, fire off a blast at her. This will help a lot, as I assume, as she did with Reed, he would be the second one she goes to reality warp away. So in no situation do I think that one actually hits. I think even if she can see him, she will just end up reality warping a decoy. If Kisuke fires off one of his blasts and she is taken off guard, it should take her down. But again, we'll assume that for the fun of it, she blocks it. Now we have Kisuke, All Might, and Itachi versus her. Itachi and All Might aren't going to add a lot, but maybe just their extra little pressure will tip the balance in the favor of Kisuke winning. Even if they don't, there's always the option for Kisuke to activate his Bankai, in which case I do think he overpowers and outspeeds her to be able to win the fight even by himself if needs be. But now we can go all the way back to the beginning of the fight for Itachi's win conditions. If he manages to make eye contact with her, he can catch her in a genjutsu by shooting his chakra into her mind. This doesn't work the same as telekinesis. I don't know if she has any way to force the chakra out of her brain, and in this state she would easily be able to be one-shot by any member of the group. Now we move on to another jutsu from Naruto that could take her down, but ironically this is not one used by Kisuke. It's the Talk no Jutsu. There's a slight chance that All Might could pull this off, but I feel more than likely, if we move on to the 6v1 situation, that if he teams up with Optimus Prime, one of the living embodiments of goodness.
Optimus Prime?
Remember, I died for your sins.
Perfect moral compass for this group, that he might be able to talk her out of it especially. Despite none of these characters knowing her, I think they've managed to do a lot better than the Illuminati, who constantly showing off their arrogance just belittled her and didn't really make many good points. Of course, if he can't talk her out of it, Optimus Prime can always pull out his giant gat and blast her away. He's relatively slow compared to everyone, so this would be hard to accomplish, but he's also multiple times stronger than Scarlet Witch, so if he ever does manage to land a hit, he should take her down. So we can see if it's 6-on-1, 4-on-1, or even just 3-on-1, and possibly even 1-on-1, there's a good chance the team can take her down. But what are Scarlet Witch's win conditions? How might she be able to pull this off? Well, basically the only surefire way is to just reality warp everything around her, taking everyone down. But as I said, I think she gets 2 of these out at max, so I don't really see her being able to pull this off. Scarlet Witch is a fierce and scary opponent, and I think there's a good chance she kills 1 to maybe even 3 members of the group, but I don't think she takes them all down, especially with a well-coordinated, all-out, all abilities and strategies attack against her. But I'd love to hear what you guys thought. Do you think I overestimated my team? Could Scarlet Witch take them all down in a cakewalk, or did I do a good job? You guys take care, and we'll see you later.